Hey y'all, it's K Divine coming back with a really quick message. Your silence and your stillness exposes these people's chaos. And what I mean by that is you may start to find yourself in places around people you may know or may not know. And because of the light that you carry, it really exposes and irritates a lot of people's demons. And people, especially people who don't know you, they'll start trying to create problems for you, or they'll do stuff sneakily behind your back, or you'll see people start getting like really nervous and like trying to hurry up and like get away from you as if you did something to them. And it's not that you did anything to them, it's just that your presence and your light really irritates their demons, and they can't stand to be near you, or whatever truth that you carry. Like, your essence is just so powerful that they know they can't hide. Especially a lot of these people that are out here in this world that portray themselves to be like, loving and kind and caring and helpful, but really behind the scenes they're evil, demonic. They do backhanded stuff, they do, crimes and stuff. When they get around you, they can't pretend that, because they know that you'll see through it, and they know that what you're not saying could sometimes what you're not saying is more powerful than what you could say, and that scares them. And your silence, and sometimes it's like some people will do weird stuff towards you to try to expose you, right? They'll try to like get in your way, or they'll start whispering to other people like I bet they're not really like that, like I bet we could get them upset or whatever. And they'll start doing weird stuff towards you so that they can expose you, but really what they're doing is exposing themselves. um for instance, if you're just like a really chill person, right, which I'm gonna make a video later on this week about going with the flow, but when you're a really chill person and people want to create a monster out of you, like they want to make you the villain in their story, they want people to believe that you're loud and belligerent and disrespectful when really that's them. um First of all, they are projecting onto you. That's why when they start whispering about you, it's because they're projecting onto you, and they got to get around other people. They're very codependent. They got to go talk about it to other people because they need people to co-sign to their nonsense, right? And or they got to get other people to be like, oh, we got to do something about this person because they're going to be a problem. I can already tell. I can just look at them and tell they're going to be a problem. And you haven't done anything. They just hate that your presence really disrupts their demons. It really makes them uncomfortable. And like I said in my last video, like, God forbid people be uncomfortable. They can't handle it. Instead of them being like, okay, I'm uncomfortable and I need to figure out why, they want to look at you and make it your problem. And when you don't react or respond to these people and the stuff that they try to do towards you, even if it's like really subtle and it didn't really bother you, like even just the fact that you're just like, whatever, and you just keep it pushing, and that you don't acknowledge them, you don't look in their direction, that really hurts these people deep down. I'm just going to use an example, especially with the times that we're in. Like right now, there are people who have held on to racial beliefs, and there are some people right now, when they get around black people, they're exposing themselves for how they truly feel about us. I'm just gonna call a spade a spade. They try to act like they're so scared around us, and they try to act like we could be absolutely doing nothing. And I'm just using this as an example because this is something that I have been experiencing lately. Like they act so timid, and it's like, it's not because you did anything, but your light really does irritate their demons, and it makes them have to try to create an issue for you, or like they'll try to act like you're like your presence around them is so bothersome. But sometimes they'll do those things and like, try to act like you're gonna steal something from them, just so that you can react negatively towards them, so that it will reinforce the way that they already feel. And most of them don't have a reason as to why they feel that way. That's just, like, racism is something that is deeply embedded in those people's communities. And racism comes in different forms. That's why I say in those people's communities, because racism is not mutually exclusive to just white people. It's an everybody problem. Racism can affect everyone in some way, shape, or form. But and racism is expensive. We're watching that happen in real time. But they try to cause problems for you for no reason, and that's not your fault. And when you are silent, and when you are still, and you just keep minding your business, it makes these people have to really look and say, like, well, that person didn't do anything to me, and they didn't even look up at me. I tried to interrupt their day, and they moved around. They have to start turning that back on themselves, because it's like, you're not the problem. They're the problem. They create their own problems. But a lot of these people, you got to understand, like I said in my last video, a lot of these people live their lives based on illusions. So if someone believes that they're superior to you based on race, and they get around you and they feel uncomfortable, their uncomfortability isn't because of something you did. It's because they see the type of person that you are, and you don't fit into the box that they have placed people who look like you, or have, whatever the case may be. Like, they want to place you in that box, but they can't. And so they're going to try to find a way to put you in that box. And a lot of times they will create drama so that you will negatively react, and then they can peacefully place you back in that spot and make themselves feel more comfortable. Because a lot of these people, they tell themselves things like, okay, so let's use a different example. Let's use like a work situation, right? So say you're one of the smartest people at your job, and everybody knows it. No one has to say it out loud. Everyone knows that you're one of the smartest people there. And I kind of used a similar example in my last video, but like the higher ups, the managers and stuff, they don't want you to move up in the company, because they know that if you do, that there's a possibility that you could run the whole thing. You could run the whole show, and that you might have more power than them. And so they'll try to create issues for you. They will gatekeep positions away from you, just so that you can't move up, even though you deserve it. And it's like they'll try to say, they'll be very technical when it comes to you, right? When performance reviews come around towards the end of the year, all of a sudden they got all of these critiques of you, but every couple months or so, you guys have a meeting, and every time you spoke to them, it was like, oh, well, I think you're doing great. Oh, well, you're wonderful. I have no complaints. But now at the end of the year, now they're like, well, you do this a lot, and well, I wish you would be a little bit more more detail oriented, even though you the most detail oriented person in there. Or like, oh, well, you just don't interact very much with your other coworkers. And it's like, because I don't need to interact with them to get my job done. What's the problem? Like, they start trying to make up little frivolous things to make you look like you're doing something wrong, just so that they can keep justifying the reason why they aren't treating you fairly, why they're not giving you these promotions that you deserve. Like, these things happen all the time, and your silence and your stillness, it really shows them that they're the ones that are chaotic, because when they try to create those issues, because when you don't respond the way that they want you to respond, like when you don't get frustrated and angry, when you just start accepting the things that people say as, okay, they're doing this because they don't want me to move up. And yes, that's frustrating. Yes, I can yell and scream, but I'm still not going to be able to move up if I do that. So I might as well just start making my exit plan and trying to get the hell out of here. That pisses them off, because what they were hoping for was that they can continue to exploit you for the things that they need to exploit you for. Like I said, you're the smartest person in the company, you're the smartest person in the room. So they want to keep extracting the ideas and siphoning your energy for their benefit, but also trying to keep you in a lower state so that, they can keep trying to paint you as some sort of villain to other people and take credit for your ideas. But then when you keep sitting there and you're not bothering other people, you're not engaging in the nonsense, you're not engaging in the smear campaign, that bothers those people so much. It really exposes their chaos and their need for control, because it's just like that's when people really start lying on you, and their hopes is that the more that they talk negatively about you and the more scrutiny that you're under and the more pressure that's on you, that it will make you become what it is that they've been telling people that you are. So then you lose out on opportunities, and then you end up setting yourself back because you naturally reacted to something that was happening to you. Like, it's a natural reaction to get upset when people are accusing you of doing things that aren't true. It's natural to get upset and to be frustrated and to extremely like blow up after a while. It's like I've been taking hit after hit after hit after hit after hit. So yes, eventually a lot of people will crash out, and that's what they want. They want you to crash out because it benefits them and everything that they've been saying, because that is the moment that they get to say, see, I told you. See, I told you they were unstable. See, I told you this. See, I told you that. Your silence and your stillness really exposes their chaos. They're the ones that need chaos to function. That's why some of y'all, when y'all go to them jobs and you're peaceful and you just come in and do your job and you go home, that bothers a lot of people, because they can't just come in to the job and just do their work. They can't just come in, sit down, do what the task that they are asked to do and go home. They can't do that. They need to be in other people's faces. They need to be involved in the talk of the town. They need to be a part of drama. They need to be doing everything else but working in order for them to function. I'll give you an example. We had one of our top execs at my old job. He got fired. He got let go when our new company owner came in, and it was because the man just didn't work. I'm gonna be honest. I don't even know what he did, and everybody, like, nobody liked this guy at all. Nobody really liked him, but everybody has something negative to say about him, but they never said any of those things to his face. But it doesn't really matter. That's neither here nor there. But the person who worked under him, she was behind in like 400 like projects that she was supposed to have done already, like 400 assignments. And my former friend at the time told me this, but then put all the blame on the former boss who got fired and said, well, he wasn't telling her what she needed to do and blah, blah. And I was just like, no. She needs to take accountability for some of that too. Yes, he may have not been doing his job, but that does not stop you. That you have 400 things that you have to be doing. Like 400. I'm like, how, like, what do you come in and do every day then? And that at the time, that man had been fired for a couple weeks now. So I'm just like, so what is she waiting for now? And because he wanted to be on her side and he wanted to, go to bat for her, he didn't want to, he claimed, like, he was like, well, yeah, but at the end of the day, they never really wanted to see my side, because it's like they were focusing so much on putting the blame on the person that they didn't like, that they neglected the fact to hold her accountable for her not coming in and doing her job. And this same former friend was the same person who told me that, who didn't have to come into the office, mind you. His job no longer required him to come into the office, but he would specifically come into the office just to be around certain people. And I'm like, I'm sorry, there's not a single person that works in this building that is that important to me, that I would feel the need to come out of the comfort of my home. If you like them so much, you can chill out with them on your days off on the weekend. Y'all can go to have dinner or go to the bar or whatever it is that y'all do in y'all spare time. But the fact that it's like, this is codependency. Okay. And then, for the person who had the 400 projects that she needed to get done, she was gaining a lot of sympathy from all these other people, because like I said, they didn't like the boss that she had. A lot of people didn't like him. And it was easy for them to have sympathy for her and be like, oh, well, he wasn't a good leader to you, so I understand. And I'm like, no. I'm like, no. What were you coming in and doing? You're telling me that you needed him to do all 400 of these projects? What do you come in and do every day? Nothing. They all are a part of drama. And then they're like, oh, well, they ask for certain things from people, but they don't give it. It's like, that is still no excuse. It's no excuse. These people make up excuses as a reason why things are going wrong, and then they project all that bullshit onto you. It's crazy out here, y'all. But your attention to yourself, your soul focusing on you and what you got to do, and not worrying about what's going on outside of you, really exposes how chaotic these people are. And that's part of the reason why they don't like you, because just like that excerpt I read from my book the other day about how everyone wants peace. Absolutely, everyone does want peace, but a lot of people are so stuck in the needing of drama and needing to be in people's faces and needing to have a victim to be messing with, that they forget to mind their business and do what they're supposed to do. They're so wrapped up in all this other shit that now it's like, well, so you every time I see you, you got something to say about this person, but what is it that you're doing? See, and that's what a lot of people do too. A lot of people will try to use you as a distraction. That's why they keep your name in their mouth. They keep your name in their mouth so that they don't have to come to terms, or people won't look at them for the stuff that they're really doing. Because they only tell part of the story. When they start talking about you and the reactions that you've had to some of their nonsense, they're not telling people what it is that they did to make you react that way, or what you like. Or they'll start saying that because you started to detach, that, oh, well, she's so cold, or like, well, he's just so heartless. And they'll say all these things, but it's like, you're not cold, you're not heartless, you just are done dealing with people's bullshit, and they don't like that. That's why they demonize you. But the more that you pull away and detach from them people, when you stop talking to people, when you don't respond to them anymore, and you see how desperate they are trying to get in touch with you, trying to reach out to you, still trying to paint you as a villain, but now you've been gone too long, and now but they still got your name. Listen to me, you got people right now who you haven't seen in months, years, who still are going into conversations talking about you, and they don't even know anything about you anymore. They may know some of the things that they see on social media. Like, you may post something about, maybe you started a new project, or you got a new job, or, them people be just watching you from fake profiles and, God forbid, behind the bushes and shit. Like, some of these people are crazy stalkers. But you haven't even interacted with these people. I'm sure that somebody's got an ex right now that still talks about you like y'all are together. And you're like, sir, ma'am, we have not been together in years. Was that last year? I think it was last year I went on like a blocking spree and like a deleting spree on my Facebook page. And actually it was right after I had my daughter. It was like a couple months after I had my first Mother's Day. I posted something with my daughter that was like, it's my first Mother's Day, and I posted a picture of my baby. That's the only picture I've ever posted of her on social media. And I had several exes who I'm not friends with on Facebook, by the way. Not friends with them at all. Liking my post, commenting on it, and I just immediately started blocking people because I'm like, what did you come all the way over here for? We are not together. Why are you worried about me? Now all of a sudden, oh, I see how it is. It's like, see how what is, sir? We are not together. It's been years. Somebody I dated when I was a teenager was in talk about some non-congrats though, because I had blocked him, and he took his happy ass all the way over to Instagram that he does not use, which we didn't follow each other on Instagram either. Took his happy ass all the way over to Instagram, said, you really blocked me because I liked a picture? And it's just like trying to start drama like I'm the one in the wrong. You came all the way looking me up on my Facebook page. I don't want you around, sir. You trying to cause problems and drama for me like I did you dirty. We haven't been together in 10 years. 12 years, 15 years. I don't even know at this point. It's been a long time. Nope, it's been longer than 10 years. It's been longer than 10 years. I'm almost 30. So yeah, it's been way longer. Like we have not been together in a very long time. And you are over here inserting yourself in my life. I'm telling you, y'all, your silence and your stillness really exposes people's chaos and their demons. Like I said, like you, just by you blocking someone, that sends some of them into a frenzy, and it's because you didn't say anything to them, and they can't imagine the fact that they don't have a grip on you anymore. They never imagined a time in their life where they would never have access to you. That shit crazy, y'all. But that was my quick message. I love you guys. It's your girl K Divine. I'll see you in the next one.